Struggling?
Yeah.
Edge is waiting.
Oh, that's because it's the wrong one. Jesus, shit, too many notes. Too many fucking notes. Okay.
I didn't start the recording. I don't know what you mean.
I don't know what you mean.
I didn't do it.
Oh! Hi! Is that all on? It's all great. Fantastic. Great outtake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blooper reel.
Blooper reel.
Yeah.
Most definitely. We're just not ready. We are not ready.
I'm sat here. I'm ready. I'm just...
You can tell we're in the shack together because everything's gone to poop.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me. And she can't prove anything.
Is that a song? It wasn't me.
It's showing your age there a little
I
bit.
am. I'm sorry. I could have gone older.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, to be fair, that was quite new for you.
Yeah, it was new for me.
Hello, listeners.
It was too new for me.
Too new.
If anyone knows anything about spank, I'm saying no more. In France, the man kept saying, it is too new for me. About my septic tank. There you go.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, spank is actually a thing. And they are the professionals that inspect septic tanks. And yes, it's very funny because they are called spank. Oh dear. Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the freaking shack. As you can tell, we're both in the same shack.
We are. It's been a while.
It has.
A long
Been a
while.
while.
I have too many notes. Too many notes.
We're going to have a meme.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go backwards and forwards on these. It is far too hot. I think I might have to go and open some windows. It's getting hotter and hotter in here, isn't it?
I think it is actually getting hotter in here. And I think part of it is because we're both in here.
We're both in here. I wonder if we can have... There's no windows open at the minute. I've got to open the window. I'll leave Steph to explain.
So, for those of you that can't tell this, because you can't tell from where you are, we are sat on a sofa. On that sofa, it's really, really low down. So what we've done is we've put like a wooden board that's along the sofa.
What's
okay.
the board?
So we're both sat on this long piece of wood. So when she gets up, it wants to catapult me off this side. And that's twice she's done it to me now. I blame you. Right, sit down slowly or I'm going to...
Oh! I've just head-butted the mic now. Dear.
Oh, that's better.
Right. I don't know if that's going to be any better or not. I don't know.
It's fine.
Probably not. God, it's a warm one.
It's a warm one. Let's make this quick.
Quick, she says, with lots of notes. I have no idea which way I'm going backwards and forwards on these notes. And I've got my cool thing that's not cool anymore that you bought me. I'm sweating, perspiring,
All very
as
sweaty.
they say. Oh, hang on.
What's your beverage?
I've got a very long drink here.
I've finished mine.
Cheers, everybody.
At least the ice cubes have melted now, so they're not going to go clink, 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 clink.
I've still got mine, look.
Oh. It's not clinking.
It's not clinking.
Keep clinking. There you go.
There we go.
Nice.
The trouble is, when I edit it,
it won't come out anyway.
Riverside will take that out because they'll think it's a sound in the background. See, we should have done all this before
Steph hit record.
Steph hit record.
No, we're in the same room at the same time, and I'm not letting you guys go without hearing the crap that goes on before we hit the record button and become all, like, not professional, because I can't use that word. I'm sorry. I think that even covers it.
No.
I found something interesting today.
Go on, then.
I found out a little gem about language.
Oh,
right?
did you?
Okay, so Brit living in France, learning French, yada, yada. It's a really common thing to pick up on something in French that doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Right? So you go, oh, for Christ, why do you have two words that are the same things, right? How do you know which one you mean? And there's that thing of like, oh, well, it's all about context.
Yeah.
We hate that word. But here's the thing. Somebody was trying to speak English in a audiobook that I'm listening to at the moment. And he said that something wasn't difficult, but he didn't know what the word was. So he said it was soft because we used the word hard for the opposite. So he thought the word hard meant difficult. Therefore, soft must mean easy. And that would make perfect sense, wouldn't it?
It would.
But it doesn't make any sense because we don't use that at all, ever. I don't think I've ever known soft used as an example of something being easy. Anyway, that was interesting to me. So
Okay.
English doesn't make any sense either. is
No,
what I'm
it
saying.
doesn't. No. It certainly doesn't make any sense where we are
No.
and where we're concerned.
I've got the hiccup burps now. It's not going to do me any favours, is it?
No, it isn't. I can't edit it out either.
No, sorry.
Normally I can shut her up because I can mute her when she's not speaking.
Sniffing, coughing.
Yeah. Yeah. Just mute Steph for a minute and then it all goes away. But I can't do that today.
No.
So you've got mistakes and everything today.
Raw footage.
Raw. Yeah, virtually raw.
Anyway.
Virtually raw.
Well, I have no idea what we're talking about.
No,
so
I know you don't.
I'll just get on board with our listeners.
Yeah. And I don't know how this is going to go because it's not rehearsed nor nothing.
Give it a whirl.
So let's give it a go. A girl?
A girl?
Let's
Is that give it a whirl and give it a go?
Yeah. Two together. Girl.
Give it a girl.
Give it a girl.
Why not?
A go and a whirl. There you go. We're making up language now.
Why not?
There is a patch of grass in the middle of London that doesn't look like very much.
I'm assuming it looks like grass.
It does look like grass. There's no fence around the worst of it. There's no sign warning you what happened there. Tourists walk over it on their way to see the crown jewels. Most of them never knowing they've just crossed it. It's called Tower Green. And in the span of 13 years, barely longer than it takes a child to grow into an adult, 3 women died on that ground. They weren't soldiers. They weren't traitors. They were women who were destroyed by decisions that weren't theirs to make in a game that they never asked to play.
Well, that sucks.
I will just add on the end, by men.
Oh. Yeah, it makes more sense.
Now it makes
Sorry,
a whole
folks.
load of sense. An old countess who was killed for her son's politics.
Oh, of course, because that's the way to go.
A teenage queen who was screaming for a king who wouldn't listen. Another teenager. A 16-year-old girl who wore a crown for 9 days and paid for it with her life.
For 9 days. It's not very long, is it?
No.
Oh, dear. Okay.
So 2 different reigns, 3 different men who signed the order. One small patch of London that apparently didn't let any of them fully leave.
Which is why we're interested.
Which is why we're interested, absolutely. Tonight, the Tower Green 3. Now, the first question that I have to ask you, and I sort of know this anyway, is have either of us been to the Tower of London?
Yes.
We have. But you were very little.
The last time I went to the Tower of London, I was probably about 15, 16.
Did we go when we took you and Rochelle?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were older than I thought. I thought you were younger at the time, but no, you were about that age when we went to London. I wasn't sure if we'd been to the Tower that time.
I think we did.
Okay. So, but it was some while ago.
It was a very long time
An
ago.
equal while ago. And
Even the fact that I'm 42 now.
Yeah.
It was a fair while ago.
A fair while. And I obviously went with you, but I had you and Rochelle.
Mm-hmm.
And Rochelle was 9 years younger than you.
Yeah.
So she was a lot younger. So there were certain things that we could do at the Tower, but there were certain things that you couldn't really go into too much. So the gory side of it We did a little bit of the London Dungeons.
We did London Dungeons, and that was fun.
I think it's a bit more gory now than it was.
Is than it, yeah.
Yeah, they do put a warning now on the age.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I think they do. But anyway, so yes, we have been to the Tower, and we have been to the Tower Green. It says here what.
Can I just say though, I didn't know that there was a thing about Tower Green, which fits in with what you were saying at the beginning, like you walk across it to go to the Tower.
Yeah,
and I had no idea that it was the Tower Green.
And I don't even think I was taking that much notice at the time that I would have known. Having looked at pictures and bits of film since on history programs and things, obviously I'm more aware of the area. But it actually doesn't look like anything. It is just a
patch of grass.
There is a patch of grass, but there's also lots of concrete and gravel, and you just walk across to go to other parts of the building.
Walkways.
Yeah, it's just pathways through. You don't realise you're actually walking across this area.
There you go.
So we've got 3 women. Before researching this, did I know any of the 3 women? Well, you don't even know who the 3 women are, so I'm not going to ask you that question.
Do I know that? I don't know. Really?
I did know of 2 of them. I didn't know so much about them, but I do a bit more now.
Okay.
Because I obviously researched it. So I think we're just going to go into the first one. Story number 1. Where's me light? It is here. It's very high up.
It's up there, and the microphone is kind of blocking it a little bit.
It is, yeah. So
swing that light.
We have the microphone above us at the minute because it had to be put in the middle.
Ish. It's not important. It doesn't matter.
No, but that light is swinging. I think you might just be able to see it. So the first story is Margaret Pole. And if you want to look anything up, you certainly can, Steph. I have some more information.
I've got my dual screen today, so I'm limited to my phone.
Yes. So Margaret Pole, her name is. She was the Countess of Salisbury, and she died on the 27th of May, 1541, at Tower Green, at the Tower of London.
She was 67 years old. Folks.
Yes, she was. She was the last surviving Plantagenet of royal blood that made her dangerous just by existing.
Because, of course.
She was part of the Plantagenets, which were the older royals that ruled before the Tudors.
Right.
And obviously, King Henry VIII was part of the Tudor dynasty, if you like. So she was the last of them. So, and she had sons.
Right. Okay.
Okay. She was around 67 years old at her execution, which was highly unusual, as most Tower executions were people younger. There you go. She was killed not for her own actions, but because her son was the Cardinal Reginald Pole, who was abroad and denounced Henry VIII's. Henry couldn't reach the son, so he took the mother instead.
What a bastard.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can't kill the person I want to kill, so you're in, love, you know?
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
I always thought he was a nice guy.
So we know a little bit about Margaret. She was born in 1473. She was the daughter of George Plantagenet, Duke of Clarence, brother of King Edward IV.
And actually, we're shortly going to be approaching her birthday because it was the 14th of August.
Is that what I said before?
No, but I've just read it.
You've just read it. There we go.
14th of August, 1473 to the 27th of May.
There you go.
1541.
Yes. So that made her a member of the powerful Plantagenet family whose claim to the throne rivaled that of the Tudors. There we go. Her childhood was marked by tragedy. Her mother died when Margaret was just 3. Her father was executed for treason when she was 4. Legend said he was drowned in a barrel of
Malmsey.
Yeah, Malmsey wine.
Malmsey wine.
Whatever that was.
However the hell you say that.
It's spelled Malmsey.
Malmsey.
Malmsey. Malmsey wine. Her young brother Edward Plantagenet, Earl of Warwick, spent most of his life imprisoned before being executed by Henry the Seventh.
You were going B5,
Yeah.
6, 7.
Yeah, adding
Just
it up.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1499, because his royal blood made him a threat. There you
course.
go.
And this is the issue, isn't it? We've talked about this before with mothers and daughters in Disney stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is like, as soon as there is anyone who can claim anything to the throne or possibly have a greater claim than you, it's like, oh, well, just bump them off.
Just get rid of
that's
them.
it. They're too much of a threat.
Yeah. So many stories, when we look back,
Yeah.
are about kings or people who want to be king killing off other relatives from other bits of the family just to make sure that they
Or it'll be the father, the king that dies, and he's got like 4 sons, and it'll be like the youngest of the sons that then decides he's going to bump off his older brothers so that he gets put in.
Yeah. Or uncles bumping off
the kids to make sure that it's crazy, folks.
Don't know. Yeah. Right.
Anyway. When you were saying before about that you knew about these people, you said you knew about 2 of them.
Yes.
I do know about this.
Oh, did you?
A little bit. I didn't know a lot, but there was one particular one particular aspect that I did know.
Okay.
And we'll get to that.
Okay. Brilliant. Well, I didn't know about this lady at all. So Margaret ended up marrying Sir Richard Pole, a loyal Tudor knight. They had 5 children, including Reginald Pole, who would later become one of the most important Catholic churchmen in Europe. So that's why he was having a go at Henry VIII, because Henry VIII wanted to get rid of the Catholics out of Britain, because he then wanted to divorce all his wives, get rid of them so that he could remarry the new floozy in town. There you go.
I think he was the floozy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think he was actually.
He just wanted to be the floozy.
Yeah.
I think that's
I think he made himself the floozy. The king bitch or something. Is that right?
Henry VIII, otherwise known as King Bitch.
When Henry VIII came to the throne, Margaret's fortunes improved dramatically.
As they would.
She became Countess of Salisbury in her own right, an extraordinary honour for a woman. One of the richest landowners in England. And she was a trusted friend of Catherine of Aragon, governess to the young Mary I, helping to raise the future queen. You will see the links to them in a little while. For years, she appeared to be one of Henry VIII's most trusted noblewomen. So what went wrong? Everything changed when Henry broke with Rome and the Catholic faith to divorce Catherine of Aragon. Margaret's son, Cardinal Reginald Pole, fiercely opposed Henry from abroad. He condemned the king for rejecting the Pope and even suggesting Henry had become a tyrant.
If the boot fits.
Henry could not reach Reginald. Instead, he targeted his family. Margaret's sons were arrested. One son, Henry Pole, was executed. And that obviously wasn't enough for Henry. Geoffrey survived after confessing under pressure. I don't know what he confessed to. It didn't say. Something we need to look into. Margaret herself was accused of treason. For no other reason, just that she was the mother of the cardinal.
What was his name?
Geoffrey Pole. He confessed under pressure, but what to, I'm not sure. Margaret herself was accused of treason, although the evidence was extraordinarily weak, funnily enough. One alleged piece of evidence was a tunic embroidered with the 5 wounds of Christ was interpreted as a symbol of rebellion. Though many historians regard the charges as politically motivated.
He confessed to, under pressure.
Yep.
Pole admitted to maintaining treasonous correspondence with his exiled brother.
Right. Okay.
There you go.
So he was all right then. In 1539, Margaret was then about 66 years old. She was imprisoned in the Tower of London. She remained there for nearly 2 years. Interestingly, she wasn't treated harshly on a day-to-day basis. She had servants, food, and decent clothing, which makes what happened next all the more startling. Why was she executed? Historians still debate the exact reason. The most likely explanation is that Henry VIII became increasingly fearful and paranoid. Several events came together. The Catholic rebellions against Henry's religious reforms were happening. Rumours that Cardinal Reginald Pole was encouraging resistance from Europe, and fears that Margaret's Plantagenet blood could inspire opposition to the Tudor throne. How dare she?
Dare she?
Rather than risk leaving such a powerful symbol alive, Henry ordered her execution in May 1541. Despite her age and despite no convincing evidence that she had committed treason herself. Margaret, as we've said, was 67 years old. She was taken to a small scaffold inside the tower without much public notice. Contemporary ambassador reports agree that the execution was badly botched.
You could say that again.
Yeah. The experienced executioner apparently was absent, and an inexperienced young headsman carried it out. According to the imperial ambassador Eustace Chapais, he hacked repeatedly at her neck and shoulders
11 times, folks.
before finally severing her head.
There's one little note that's not mentioned there.
It does, yes, there is a note.
Okay.
But it's sort of, it's not verified, but later stories claimed that she ran from the block, but most modern historians regard that dramatic chase as an embellishment. So
There was other, like, it was used as one of the examples of why the guillotine was adopted, because it was a lot more, the kind of shunk was a lot more reliable than the axeman. And this case was referenced in the adoption of the guillotine.
Yeah.
Which I don't believe, I feel like it wasn't French. Don't know who.
Oh, there you
Did I
go.
look it up?
Yeah, most modern historians regard the dramatic chase. They talked about, there is stories about her running around the block with the axeman chasing her with the axe, trying to get her head off. But people have said that that's a bit of an embellishment, but I think it was horrific enough. She's remembered. Many historians view Margaret as less a traitor than a casualty of Henry VIII's increasingly suspicious rule.
There you go. The French link here was that actually guillotine being what I think is a French word because of the spelling. But it was actually used in England before it was introduced into France. And
there you go.
it was known as the Halifax giblet.
Ooh.
Yeah. A device for execution.
Right. Centuries later, in 1886, the Catholic Church beautified her as Blessed Margaret Pole and recognised her as a martyr.
Well, they would, wouldn't they?
An interesting discussion point, it says here, can a person inherit guilt simply because of their family?
Well, in all honesty, no, unless they were directly involved.
Yeah.
If they were involved in some way, then yes, you had a degree of
But
influence. But
interestingly, what was yesterday? Was it the King Charles?
Yeah.
Was it the King or was it Keir Starmer?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Or it might have been Parliament. It might have been Keir Starmer apologising on behalf of the English government. Now, he isn't guilty, but they were apologising for the forced adoptions that happened. And this has happened many times.
But because he now heads up
the state,
yeah, it would be his responsibility
yeah,
to issue that apology. So yes, I mean, is he personally responsible? No, but the faction that he heads up was. So,
Yeah.
absolutely. Should he be executed for
said crime? No. She, because of course she never led an army, she never tried to seize the throne, yet her bloodline became a life sentence. In many ways, Margaret Pole's greatest crime was surviving long enough to remind King Henry VIII that the Plantagenets still existed.
How dare she?
So, let me just go back to my other notes. Her haunting, this is what we're getting on to, her haunting she is said to reappear on Tower Green every year on the anniversary of her death, the 27th of May, reenacting the execution itself, which would be quite awful because having heard of what the story was like, and maybe it is the trauma and the tragedy of that horrific scene. They were saying that people that were watching actually had to turn away because I don't think I'd have been there anyway.
Graphic, yeah.
It was quite graphic.
I mean, in that, I don't know. I mean, if she appears, does anything appear around her? Is it just
I don't
her?
know. It doesn't
because
say.
It's like if she's, is she just there
and seen on the green?
Or is she, for instance, on her knees It
does say reenacting the execution itself.
Yeah.
So
go for a short run around the block, just
maybe, around the block.
Not that kind of block. I mean the actual block, not running around the estate.
Just a quick run around the block.
Do you reckon that's where it came from?
Maybe it did.
Go for a run around the block.
Go around for a run around the block. That's. I shall never ever be able to say that again and not know. Right.
Oh dear me, honestly. It's a bit like Margaret. Run around the block.
Yeah. Well, we're on to story 2. So
well, then
story 1.
I think we need to have a word then.
We do.
If you've made it this far, folks. Yeah.
Or someone running.
Yeah. Someone running or run around the block. I think we need to have that in the comments if you've made it this far. Run around the block.
Perfect. And don't forget to subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Please subscribe and help. Help. Story number 2.
Swing that light.
Swing that light. If that falls, that is hitting me right on the head.
I will laugh and I will just be really chuffed that we get it on camera.
And it's very heavy.
There is a fly in here, guys. It keeps buzzing around my face. So if we're randomly flapping, if you're just listening to us on our podcast, you will have no idea what's going on. But I am flapping like an injured seagull.
Yeah. Like we talked about.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Last week. Right. Story 2.
Bloody hell, it's hot in here. Story 2.
Catherine Howard. Moving on. She died on February 1542 at the Tower of London. But she haunts the gallery at Hampton Court Palace. So she doesn't haunt at the Tower.
Why does she haunt the palace? Does she spend more time there?
She was there before, so I will explain.
Go for it.
I will explain. She was Henry VIII's 5th wife. Likely
because he's a flues.
Yeah, a bitch. The king bitch.
King bitch.
She was likely between the ages of 16 and 21. They don't exactly know. 9 months after Margaret Pole's execution by the same king.
So there's every chance that she heard about or even witnessed.
Yeah.
Her. I mean, if a bloke like that then kind of, jumped up, made a call for you, I think I'd be the one going, do you know what? I think I'll pass.
Yeah.
There must have been somebody else. Again, we're talking about the patriarchy here. So somebody else, another bloke must have put her forward as a good match for whatever reason, family connections, yada. He must have got something out of that. Because she ain't getting anything, is she, really?
No. Anyway, Catherine Howard's early life, she was born around 1523 or 1524, roughly, into the powerful Howard family, one of England's most influential noble houses.
There's the reason.
She was the first cousin of Anne Boleyn.
Oh, there you go.
Despite her noble birth, Catherine's childhood was far from luxurious. After her mother died, she was sent to live in a household of her step-grandmother, the Dowager Duchess of Norfolk. Supervision there was famously relaxed, and young noble women were given much more freedom than was considered proper.
Oh, how dare they?
During her teenage years, Catherine had romantic relationships with her music teacher, Henry Mannix, and Francis Dereham, a secretary in the household, with whom she may even had considered herself informally betrothed.
Oh. So she picked someone as well. She'd already, like...
Yeah. Her and him obviously were quite close. These relationships would later return to haunt her.
I'm sure they would.
Around 1540, Catherine became a lady-in-waiting to Anne of Cleves.
Right.
King Henry VIII is now nearly 50. He's overweight, suffering from painful leg ulcers, and increasingly volatile. He became captivated by the lively, attractive teenager who was probably only about 17.
Nice.
Henry divorced Anne of Cleves and married Catherine just 19 days later. In July 1540.
I'm sorry, what a genuinely horrible human being.
Apparently, he adored her.
I'm sure he
for
did.
like 5
minutes, yeah.
He reportedly called her his rose without a thorn. The court...
That's because he had his own little prick. That's why. Sorry, folks. When I get frustrated, I get sarcastic. I can't help it. It just happens.
The court celebrated what seemed to be a fairy tale romance.
Of course.
Who for?
Yeah, not for her, for sure.
Although the age gap of around 30 years gave the relationship a very different complexion.
No shit, Sherlock.
Initially, Catherine brought new energy to court.
I'm sure she did.
She loved dancing, music, lavish clothing and entertaining. Henry showered her with expensive gifts, jewels, estates, and other presents.
Well, because the presents were the only thing that was nice.
Yeah.
Because he's a shitbox.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
However, Catherine was also young, inexperienced, and surrounded by ambitious relatives eager to benefit from her position.
There you go.
She was being used.
Yeah.
By everybody. One particular dangerous figure was Thomas Culpeper, one of Henry's favourite gentlemen. Evidence suggests that Catherine met him secretly while she was queen. Historians still debate the exact nature of their relationship, but the meetings themselves were enough to fuel accusations of adultery.
How dare she have a life?
Late in 1541, a reform-minded courtier named John Lascelles informed the Archbishop of Canterbury, Thomas Cramer, about Catherine's past relationships. How dare she have had any type of situation with another man? An investigation uncovered her relationship with Henry Mannix, her music teacher. Her relationship...
Because she picked him.
Her relationship with Francis Dereham.
Oh, was that the one that she picked?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was the one she picked.
And secret meetings with Thomas Culpeper, world queen. I just have this feeling that he sorted these meetings out just so that this could all come to light.
Yeah, well, he had to blame her for something, didn't he?
Under interrogation, Dereham confessed to his earlier relationship with Catherine. Culpeper admitted meeting her privately, though he denied committing adultery. Oh, yes, of course I met her. That's why I can tell you all about it.
Yeah.
Whether Catherine actually had a physical affair with Culpeper has never been conclusively proven. Under Tudor law, concealing previous sexual relationships from the king, although the king could have as many as he wanted.
I was going to say, not to mention that he had every opportunity to research this poor girl beforehand.
Yeah.
And still went, she's pretty, I want her. She's got power in her family, I want that one, right? And now later, after the commitment, has gone, I don't like her so much anymore. She's a pain in the ass because she's in the way. So I will research all of her sort of indiscretions.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a dick.
Yeah. A bitch. Under Tudor law, concealing previous sexual relationships from the king or committing adultery as queen could be treated as treason.
That's because you've just made it up.
Because it cast doubt on their legitimacy of any future heir.
Except you cast doubt.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she knows.
Parliament passed a special act. There we go. Rubber stamped it.
Yeah, here we go.
Making Catherine's conduct punishable by death.
Of course. Yeah. But it's not her conduct, it's the accusations of her conduct.
She was stripped of her title as queen and imprisoned in the Tower of London. Her final days, on the 13th of February, 1542, Catherine was led to the scaffold within the Tower. She was probably only about 18 or 19 years old.
Crikey, could you imagine?
Before she got to the Tower, there is a little awful story.
I was really hoping she'd, cut someone's nuts off or something.
Yeah. Before her arrest, she was confined at Hampton Court. She at one time broke free of her guards and ran down the long gallery towards the chapel where Henry was attending mass, trying to reach him, to be heard, to change his mind. Apparently, she screamed and screamed his name whilst running down the gallery. She never reached the door. She was caught and dragged back screaming. The corridor is now known as the Haunted Gallery, and she is heard screaming to this day in that gallery.
Oh,
Reported sightings are of a woman in white or grey, running, screaming, sometimes described as being pulled backwards, always the same short stretch of corridor, always in the same direction. Some visitors report a wave of dread or panic in that specific spot, with no prior knowledge of the story itself.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. After she was taken to the Tower, unlike some condemned prisoners, she is said to have faced death with dignity after spending the previous evening practicing how to place her head on the executioner's block.
Yes, because the dress rehearsal is what's needed.
Her reported final words were simple.
Get fucked? Sorry. Followed by, you lying piece of shit. So sorry, folks.
I die a queen, but I would rather have died the wife of Culpeper.
I mean, if there's a slap in the chops, isn't there really?
It is one of the most famous quotations associated with her. Most historians believe it is almost certainly apocryphal. I don't even know what that word means. Apocryphal. Apocryphal? Can you look up what that means? Because
the dyslexics of the world, untie! Sorry. Oh, it's a biblical thing.
Ah, right, okay.
Okay, so of doubtful authenticity.
Ah, right, okay.
Although widely circulated as being true.
Okay. I don't know why it just didn't say that.
Yeah, there's debate over it, is what they're saying.
Yeah. The more reliable contemporary account records her saying that she deserved to die according to the law,
which some guy made up,
asking for God's mercy and prayed for the king.
I'm saying nothing on the grounds that I may incriminate myself.
She was beheaded with a single...
That's because the bloke had a lot of practice with 11 swipes at the previous girl.
Yeah, but it might not have been him. It might have been
he might have been back from his holiday by then.
He was back from his holidays. Like Anne Boleyn before her, Catherine was buried in the nearby chapel of St. Peter, inside the Tower grounds.
And I bet everybody wishes her, the whole rest in peace now thing. Except she clearly doesn't because she's running screaming down a corridor.
Yeah. Today's visitors can see a memorial marking the place where many of Henry VIII's victims, including both queens, are believed to rest.
Ish.
I don't think
any of them are resting.
Don't think
be
any
honest.
of them are resting. They're probably haunting him now.
God, I hope so. I hope he's got every single one of them like some kind of vicious mother-in-law that is plaguing his every step.
Yeah.
That's what I hope.
Was she guilty? This remains one of the Tudors' period's enduring questions. Most historians agree that she most certainly concealed her premarital relations. Did she conceal them?
Conceal anything, or did she not say anything?
Not say anything. Yeah. She exercised extremely poor judgment in meeting Thomas Culpeper privately.
But again, this is that whole thing that really aggravates me about these kinds of setups.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Is because like if it had been set up by the men in her life, if she'd have said, did she have the opportunity to say no?
Yeah.
And she'd have gone no because I could be accused. They'd have said, but you're not doing as you're told, so how dare you?
Yeah.
Therefore, you're disobedient, yada yada yada, and we're going to behead you then.
Yeah.
She had no win. There was no win here for her, unfortunately, and it just sucks.
Whether she committed adultery while queen has never been proved beyond doubt.
Funny that.
Many modern historians also point out that Catherine was a teenager navigating one of the most dangerous courts in Europe, surrounded by older, politically motivated men.
Bastards.
In that light, she appears less as a calculating schemer and more as a young woman overwhelmed by circumstances that she barely understood.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely disgraceful.
So now we have these two links to start with. Two women, same king, 9 months apart, both destroyed by a man's decision that had nothing to do with anything that they'd actually done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's where it gets stranger because the pattern doesn't stop with Henry.
Of course it doesn't.
Just a little bit more detail about her running through the corridors. According to long-standing tradition, she broke free from her attendants, ran down the long gallery leading to the chapel, screaming for the king. She is said to have banged on the chapel doors, cried out Henry's name, begging him to hear her, being seized by guards before she could reach him, being dragged away kicking and screaming while Henry remained inside. Whether Henry actually heard her is unknown. I think he did.
I think if she's screaming like a banshee
down
corridors that are damn well going to echo,
I
don't think there's any way that he couldn't have heard her.
But he never came out. The desperate dash has become one of the defining moments of her story. Some historians think the basic event is plausible, although the dramatic details have grown in the telling of nearly 5 centuries, and it's now known as the Haunted Gallery. People have heard frantic footsteps, a woman crying or screaming, a sudden feeling of panic or overwhelming sadness, and people have seen a pale young woman running towards the chapel before vanishing. The apparition is traditionally identified as Catherine Howard, endlessly reliving her final desperate attempt to plead for mercy. Unlike many ghost stories, this one is deeply tied to a specific place and a specific historical event, making it one of Britain's best-known royal hauntings.
Poor girl. So I know that it says about her taking her death with grace, but I think there's a difference there between taking something on board as with grace and just that kind of resigned to the fact that nothing you do is going to do any good. So what's the point kind of thing?
Yeah.
Of just having to accept it.
Yeah.
And, you know, are you going to do any good by making it more stressful for yourself? I'd bugger anybody else at that point because it doesn't matter. But yeah, just horrific.
Okay. Lady Jane Grey, as we move on to the next figure. Swing that light. Lady Jane Grey is one of the most poignant figures in English history. Unlike Catherine Howard, whose downfall was entwined with scandal, or Margaret Pole, whose bloodline made her dangerous, Lady Jane Grey was largely a pawn in a political game that she never wanted to play. She was a brilliant child. She was born around October 1537 to Henry Grey, Duke of Suffolk, and Lady Frances Brandon. Her grandmother was Mary Tudor, the younger sister of Henry VIII, making Jane Henry VIII's great niece.
Oh, great. There's a guy you want to party with.
Yeah. From a young age, she was exceptionally intelligent. She could read and write in Latin, Greek, Hebrew, Italian, and French. She was also a devoted Protestant and loved books more than courtly entertainments. The scholar Richard Askham famously visited her and found her reading Plato while others were hunting. Jane told him she preferred learning because life with her strict parents was so harsh that, in her words, she thought herself in hell whenever she displeased them.
Oh, my word. I suppose books and learning was the
she could disappear
the escape.
into
Yeah.
In 1553, Jane was married to Lord Guildford Dudley. The marriage wasn't really about love.
Of course not.
It formed part of an ambiguous political plan orchestrated by Guildford's father, John Dudley, Duke of Northumberland, one of the most powerful men in England. At the same time, the young King Edward VI was dying.
Right.
Edward wanted England to remain Protestant and feared that his Catholic half-sister Mary I would reverse the Reformation.
Right.
And she would turn it back to Catholic faith
and
rather than King Henry's VIII's Reformation, to make it all Protestant and him being the head of the church. When Edward died on the 6th of July, 1553, Northumberland persuaded the dying king to name Jane as his successor. Jane reportedly didn't want the crown. And you blame her?
No, not at all, to be honest. You'd be like, actually, Dad, do you know what? Stick it up your ass, because I don't want the bloody thing. It's a pain in the ass, and it's going to cause me nothing but trouble.
Yeah. Contemporary accounts suggest that she cried when told that she was queen and initially refused to accept it. Nevertheless, she was proclaimed queen on the 10th of July, 1553. She had no say in the matter. Her reign lasted only 9 days. Mary gathered enormous public support as a Protestant queen.
So the people liked her?
Absolutely. Within days, the Privy Council abandoned Jane and proclaimed Mary the rightful queen.
But why? Was it because of the whole Protestant thing or Catholic?
It could have been to do with her popularity with the people.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Possibly.
Control being the overall factor, folks.
Yeah.
They had to control the people, and therefore the people were on her side. They'll get rid of her because obviously she's the problem.
Yeah. I don't know if I've got extra notes on this one. Yeah, she didn't seek the crown. By most accounts, she was horrified when it was offered to her.
I'm sure she was.
When Mary I took the throne back.
You are also talking about a woman who is well read. You know, she probably had more of an insight into what this actually meant for her.
Yeah.
And how this was going to
play out.
How this was going to play out. She knew.
I think she knew that she was a pawn.
Yeah. Yeah. That she's been put in this position and nothing is going to go well for her, and she knew it.
Yeah.
Again, you're not looking at a kid that's being made a queen and, oh my goodness, isn't it going to be wonderful? You're not looking at the rose-tinted glasses here. She was an educated girl.
She was an educated young woman.
Yeah.
And I think she knew.
Yeah, I think she was smart to despair, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Jane was imprisoned in the Tower of London.
Of course she was.
Ironically, she had entered the Tower as a queen, preparing for her coronation. She left it only to face execution.
Wow.
Initially, Queen Mary actually hesitated about executing her. Mary seemed to have viewed Jane as an innocent young woman manipulated by ambitious, it says adults here, but I'm going to, men.
She meant men.
Yeah.
Sorry, fellas. We know it. We know that you're not all like this. We know this, but history is as history does.
And men in power.
And men in power. It doesn't go well, guys. It doesn't go well.
No. So for several months, Jane remained alive in the tower. Everything changed in early 1554. The Protestant uprising, known as the Watts Rebellion, sought to overthrow Mary. So the people were getting shitty.
Yeah.
And getting a bit bullshy. Although Jane took no active part, her very existence made her a potential rallying point for future rebellions.
Oh, my life.
So reluctantly, Mary signed Jane's death warrant. Many historians believe Mary saw it as a political necessity rather than an act of personal revenge. At her execution, she was just 16 or 17 years of age.
Oh, my life. So wait a minute. So she was a teenager.
Yes.
Who had read enough to understand enough to know that getting the crown was really, really bad.
Yeah.
And was gonna be nothing but bad for her. To the point where she cried when she was told she was getting the crown.
Yeah.
And begged not to have it.
Yeah.
And she was a child.
Yeah.
When this all happened.
Yeah. On the 12th of February, 1554, her husband, Guildford Dudley, was executed first.
Great, because you know what? Just add a little insult to that.
Jane is believed to have seen, or at least known, that his body was being returned from the scaffold before she herself was led to the execution. Apparently, she walked calmly onto the scaffold erected inside the tower. Blindfolded, she briefly lost her bearings and famously cried, "What shall I do? Where is it?"
Oh, bless her.
One of the officials gently guided her hands to the execution block. That's getting me really emotional.
I know.
Her reported last words were, "Lord, into thy hands I commend my spirit." The executioner ended her life with a single blow. And she was buried beside Guildford in the chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula. Jane is one of the tower's gentlest ghost stories. Unlike many alleged apparitions, she isn't associated with fear or violence. Instead, witnesses have described a young woman in pale clothing, a calm, almost sorrowful presence. Apparitions near Tower Green and the chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula. Yeah, apparitions are seen near those two places. A figure also that quietly disappears rather than interacts with people. There are occasional reports of a young woman praying or standing silently with folded hands before fading away.
I genuinely think that she resigned herself to this fate the day she took that crown.
Yeah, she knew. She knew that it wasn't going to end well. One of the most intriguing legends linked to her anniversary of her execution, when some claim a pale female figure has been glimpsed near Tower Green. Unlike the more dramatic tales of Catherine Howard's screams or Anne Boleyn's headless apparition, Jane's hauntings is often described as peaceful, fitting the image history has left us of a deeply religious and thoughtful young woman. Did she really want to be queen?
No.
Absolutely not. This is one of the enduring questions. I don't think it's an enduring question at all. No, she did not.
That's not a challenging question. Move on. Next.
Yeah. Modern historians generally agree that Jane was more victim than conspirator. Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
She was highly educated, deeply religious, politically inexperienced, surrounded by powerful men, making decisions for her. Rather than reaching for power, she appears to have been swept along by events that she could not control.
Yeah. Yeah. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. Can someone become a ghost because they never truly chose the life or the death that history gave them?
I don't know. I feel like these ghosts in particular are such horrific deaths.
Yeah.
So vicious that, and one, the viciousness in the sense of like the heightened emotional reactions, the poor girl screaming down a corridor. I mean, how do you I'm not surprised she haunts that with emotions that high. I am not surprised that that's the bit that continues ringing.
And like they said, that this in particular, Jane's haunting is very quiet.
Yeah.
Very,
but equally as emotional.
Equally as emotional. You don't have to be screaming and yelling for the turmoil to be going on inside.
And that's the thing, because I feel like these are cases where high levels of emotion are the things charging this kind of haunting.
Yeah.
And even though with Jane's calmness, that wasn't because she wasn't afraid. It wasn't because she wasn't angry. It wasn't because she just had to resign herself to this. She knew.
Yeah.
She knew that this was going to happen to her. And I think she knew it 9 days before it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. The moment she was told she had to take that crown, I think she did her crying and she did her protests then.
Yeah.
Because she knew where this was going to go.
Yeah. So, unlike Margaret Pole, whose royal blood marked her for destruction, or Catherine Howard, whose personal choices became fatal,
was it hers?
Jane Grey's tragedy lies in her lack of agency. Absolutely. She had no control over this at all. Crowned against her wishes and executed because others played the game of power. Yeah. She remains one of history's clearest examples of a life shaped by forces beyond her control.
Absolutely awful.
So the three connecting threads, Margaret Pole represents the danger of who you are born to be.
Yeah.
Catherine Howard represents the danger of who you are expected to be. And Lady Jane Grey represents the danger of who others decide you must become. Together, they paint a chilling portrait of the perilous lives of Tudor women, where birth, beauty, and even brilliance could all become a death sentence.
Well, that was a joyous story.
It was, wasn't it?
Jeez. The fact that women at this point were having to contend with all of these factors that they have no control over. They have no control over the family they're brought into.
No.
They're born into. They have absolutely no control over that. They have no control over the expectations that other people put on you. It's like whether they're expectations of who you are going to be or what you should do or how you should behave. Like, you're not in control of any of those things.
No.
So, no, it just sucks. It sucks.
So all three die within a 13-year window.
Wow.
1541 to 1554, under two different Tudor rulers, Henry VIII twice and then Mary I. All three are killed for someone else's decision, not their own actions. Margaret Pole was her son's politics. Yeah. Catherine Howard, her husband's paranoia and the king's need to save face. Lady Jane Grey, her father-in-law's ambition. All three hauntings are non-verbal and repetitive. Not spirits who wander or communicate, but figures caught in a loop. I don't know about non-verbal, because
I was going to say Catherine.
Yeah.
Catherine was a screamer.
Yeah. And her screams are still said to be heard in that haunted gallery.
So, yeah, all right. Maybe not coherent words, but certainly verbal, certainly audible.
But it tends to be these figures that are in a loop. So the that if anyone hears or sees, it tends to be the same thing being reenacted over and over. We've talked about this stone tape theory, about the fabric of the buildings and the stone and the trauma that those women went through.
Yeah.
Is it that's recorded and is played over and over? Is it really the spirit? I'd like to think that the spirits of these three women are free and happy now, and not being tortured in this way over and over.
We can but hope.
Yeah. So it's that loop, an execution replaying a run that never finishes and a shape that returns to the same 6 feet of grass. There we go.
If you've made it this far, folks, I think we need Floozy in the comments.
Or King Bitch.
Or King Bitch. One or t'other, take your pick. King Floozy or King Bitch.
Yeah.
Wow. Just absolute lunacy.
So just to finish, that's the Tower Green 3. Margaret, Catherine and Jane. 3 women, 3 men's decisions, 1 small patch of London that apparently hasn't let any of them go. We want to know what you think. Have you been to the Tower of London or Hampton Court and felt something you couldn't explain? I haven't been to Hampton Court. I don't think I've ever been. And felt something you couldn't explain yet. Do you think a place can genuinely hold on to memories, trauma, things that happened there? Or is it always just us bringing the story with us?
I mean, arguably, I think it could be, but yeah, I don't know.
If you're watching us on YouTube, comment below.
Yeah.
We love your comments. We'd like to see more of them. Please subscribe because it helps us out. We try and do all this. Well, we do all this for free.
Yeah. Yeah, we get nothing out of this other than this,
And
which we enjoy.
We get together or chat over online, but actually today we're together. Or email us at Shackpack Inbox. I had to remember
the email
that.
address then for a second.
I nearly got the other email address then, the old one that we used to have. But the new one is shackpackinbox@gmail.com. Comment below. Let us know which of these 3 you think is the most likely to be a real haunting. Are they all real hauntings?
They're all going to really haunt me. Can I just say that?
Yeah. And which one you think is folklore, maybe dressed up in history? I don't think any of them are from folklore because they all happened. Historically, all of these happened. There are some extra bits made up around them, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stories may have been embellished, but it's not like they didn't happen.
Yeah. But let us know your stories. Let us know any hauntings that have happened to you because we would love to know them and they may form part of another episode.
They might.
Yeah. Until next time, everybody, watch the quiet corners of old buildings. They're rarely as empty as they look.
So keep your minds open and your lamps lit. And we will see you again next time at the Freaking Shack.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for hanging out in the shack with us. If you've got a strange story, theory, or even just a spooky question, send it to shackpackinbox@gmail.com because we'd love to hear from you. Follow us to ensure that you never miss an episode of The Freaking Shack, because listening to us is much cheaper than therapy and slightly more spooky. Until we meet again next week, Shackpackers, take care.